consume on its own. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to pair it with ackee for it to be delicious. You can just do the normal saute and eat it with anything else, like fried dumpling, ground provisions. It can be, so this is like a meal, and then if you want this by itself, it can end up into 2 meals. Jamaicans are very self-sufficient, and they know how to make things last and how to make like a 1 meal be 2 meals. Very good at that, I can tell you. So we're heated. We're gonna pour oil. Okay. What I normally do, when it's actually like that and it's somewhat heated, I also put my onions in. Let me go a little bit faster. These are the onions. I put it in, I saute the onions to make sure the onions are like somewhat cooked, and then we'll add the green onions or the scallions, and then that's how we add everything. We're gonna let it cook, saute a little, and then we put everything else in. Remember, first and foremost, we need to cook the saltfish first. The saltfish is the main thing that we want to get cooked, and then the ackee is added, and we mix the ackee with the saltfish. So the thing about this is that ackee is, when it's cooked or boiled, it is super soft. So see, super soft. It's very soft. So you don't wanna, very soft. So you don't wanna mix it too much, because if you do, it's gonna be somewhat not pretty. It's gonna be crushed. Saute our onions. When you basically put, the reason for us putting the seasoning first is that the oil gets the flavor of the seasoning. That's super important. So we put our onions first. Then we have our green onions or scallions. While we're doing all of this, our water is here boiling for our dumplings. Nice and silver, it smells so good. And then we, of course, we're gonna add our bell peppers. And off we go. Nice and sauteed. Saute for around 2 minutes, not too long. Very pretty. Now we're gonna add our saltfish or codfish. beautiful this is. Oh, this is so beautiful. Very colorful, very beautiful. This is with our seasoning and our saltfish. We have here at this point we're gonna put our black pepper in. And we don't want to have to stir the ackee too much. So then we're gonna put our onion powder in. We have a half teaspoon of both in. We're gonna turn it down to simmer, and then we're gonna put our lid on for just a little bit. So look at that. While that is simmering, we have our water boiling over here for our dumplings. So we're gonna get our dumplings. These are the dumplings we made from before. When these dumplings are added, it is important that the pot is not covered. If the pot is covered, it's gonna boil over and mess your entire stove up. So we put them in while the water is boiling. There we go. And we are gonna mix around to make sure it's not stick to the pot bottom. That's very important. You have to stir it and mix it around so it's not stick to the bottom of the pot. After that is done, we go back over to our saltfish. It's looking amazing. So we're gonna pour our ackee in. And we have to twirl it together, like stir it together, not twirl, stir. You have to be super careful. As I said before, you do not want this ackee to be all mushy and not cute. Okay, so we did our stirring, and we didn't overdo it because we don't want to crush those ackee. We're gonna put our cover on, and we're still gonna leave our stove at sim for this to sim. In the meanwhile, of course, we have our dumplings going. Have to stir to prevent it from sticking to the bottom. While that's going, we are gonna peel our banana, potato, and yam so that they can go into the boiling pot. We have to give this a little time, maybe 10 to 15 minutes for it to cook a little bit more. And then we add the other ground provisions to the pot. Dumplings really can't be overcooked, so it's okay. So we'll add those in 10 minutes, and then we'll have this simmer. And when everything is added, I'll pick the camera back up for you to see exactly where we are.